All right, that sweet little lady on my computer said the recording is in process. So tonight, this is our meeting for Sound Money and 7K. We're going to be discussing some changes that went on with the company in the last few weeks, and still more changes to come. Uh, there's some future changes coming down the road. Uh, but the information that I will share with you tonight is not considered tax or financial advice. If you're looking for investment advice, I recommend that you uh, reach out to your financial advisor for that. Or if you're looking for tax advice, look out and touch your tax advisor and get assistance from them. All right, so let's get started right off the bat. 7K. Uh, a study was done by 7K, and they they were a little alarmed about why some of the memberships were dropping off, as to why they couldn't uh, have a retention rate. Plus, they looked at the number of presentations that were made. Here a while back, we had this contest. Y'all may have participated, may not participated on it, but if you shared your link, you shared those videos that you could win prizes. Matter of fact, I won one of them. I should be getting a watch in the mail from 7K. But what they were doing was using this as a test program to see how many people that actually viewed it signed up versus the one that did not sign up. And they were digging into some of the reasons. Well, come to find out, the biggest turnoff, and it turned out to be over 30% of the presentations that were given to people, was because of people seeing it as multi-level marketing. No matter what you told them, they seen the MLM or pyramid, and they just didn't want to deal with it. I know there's several on this call that's probably had that experience. Uh, Anybody else have that experience? I know I have a lot of them, right? So the original focus of 7K and the dream of Richard Hanson when he started this company, I apologize, never fails, spam will come through. Uh, the original dream of Richard Hanson was to get gold and silver into the hands of the average person in the United States and do it in a way that the average person can afford to do it, right? But if you're losing over 30% of the people that you're approaching about that, you're not accomplishing that goal. So they were troubled on what to do to refocus their efforts and get back to their core, which is getting that gold and silver into everybody's hands. So the way it was put to me by Josh and by Zach and by who else was on that meeting? It was just those two, Josh and Zach. I was on a Zoom call with them, a private Zoom call, and they just made the decision. It's kind of like pulling the Band-Aid off. You just don't want to pull it off a little time. They just pull the Band-Aid. So they shut down the multi-level marketing aspect of 7K Metals. It don't exist. Okay, it's gone. It's no longer there. Now, they did make some changes in the process, make some changes that will help us. So 7K Metals is still there. If you remember 7K Metals, your membership is there. Whatever you had at the time they shut that down, you're grandfathered in at that. So it won't go away. There will be uh, no cancellations of anything that you have in your back office. It's all there. Everything will still work. You still have full access to Sound Money Wallet, and you're going to have some advantages by being grandfathered in that some of the other people won't have. Uh, all of the stuff under your benefits, since you can no longer sign people up with 7K, they won't have your benefits. They'll just have Sound Money. Okay. Now, they went to a model that is now called, gee, what brain dead? Like direct marketing. It's not multi-level. Uh, Affiliate. That's what it's called. Affiliate program is what it's called. Okay. So the way that it works now is that if people want to do sound money, they can get a free account in sound money for up to $500 just to test it if you want to. But if a person sees it, understands it, and knows that this is a good thing, they can go ahead and just purchase a sound money wallet for $199. Now, that is a one-time fee, $199 for life. Okay. Now, the way that the other one works is the free one, it goes up to $500. If you want to put more than $500 worth of gold or silver in sound money, then you'll have to pay the $199 to upgrade. But either way, you get paid. Okay. Now, they don't pay you cash. Remember, cash would have qualified it as the multi-level marketing stuff. They pay you $100 worth of gold, instant gold, directly into your sound money the second they sign up. Now, the other thing that you do is once they've signed up, is you get 1% matching bonus for anything that they put in there. Say they put $500,000 worth of silver, you're going to get 1% of $500,000 in that form of silver instantly put into your sound money. Now, that happens every single time they invest. Now, one of the things that was brought to light during the meeting with Josh and Zach, and Zach was the one that actually broke it down. He had the graph and showed me. With the old compensation plan, when you would do the multi-level marketing, and they had the left team and the right team, which was binary, and you had to have one on your left and one on your right to be qualified, and then you had to have the growth factors. Does anybody on this call have an idea of how many people you would have had to have been consistently getting a $500 a week check with that old system? Anybody? 50. Not only would it have been 50, you'd had to talk them into spreading out the day that they received their autosaver in the 4-week period. Not everybody could have been getting it on the 1st or the 15th because that would have been the only 2 weeks you'd have been getting paid, right? So you'd have had to have, a portion of them on the 1st, portion of them on the, what was it, the 8th, portion of them on the 15th, and a portion of them on the 21st. See, so you'd have had to have all 4 weeks covered with those 50 people. So it was a pretty difficult task to get done. But now, how many people does it take to get a $500 check? There you go, right? 5. That's it. 5 people. And when do you get paid? Every single time. You don't have to wait. You get paid $100 every time. If you do $300 this week and $200 next week, there's your $500, right? If you do all 500 this week, that's fine. If you do one a week, that's fine. You're still making $500 when you do 5 people. That's a lot bigger pay. That's a lot better pay, right? So that's the way it works. Now, let's talk about some other things that's going on. There's all kind of rumors out there that 7K shut down, they close their door, they're going out of business. There's even some podcasters that has some bad blood toward them, start putting rumors out there, and all that stuff's going around too. It's all false. They aren't going anywhere. They're as solid as they always were. They're still insured by Lloyd's of London, and 100% of the asset values in the sound money. Everything's there. It's just making it easier for the average person to get in now. You don't have to worry about a 149 that can go inactive. You don't have to worry about a 599 legacy account. You can buy $199. It's one and done. It's permanent. It's there. Okay. So that is not hard to sell to anybody. $199. And then you can tell them all the benefits that you have. You have the free storage. You have the 4 forms that's non-reportable, right? You have no reporting your capital gains. Uh, you have free storage. You have all the things. Nothing, not a single thing has changed for Sound Money. It's still the same. Okay. So everything's there. Just calm down. Don't listen to all the rhetoric that's going on. Now, because a lot of people are opportunists, you're going to hear a lot of people probably approach you about other things to do to make money, multi-level marketing. Because there was, and there still is, a lot of multi-level marketing people that joined 7K Metals, right? Those people did extremely well at this because they knew how to work those systems. But that wasn't the original intent of Richard Hanson. He wanted gold and silver in everybody's hands. So that's kind of one of the reasons they, I guess, for lack of better words, divorced themselves from that business model. Okay. This just makes it easier to get that gold and silver in those folks' hands. But some of these other people may approach you, and they're going to have other things that they approach you with. A couple of the things that's going around out there now is there's a coffee, a diet coffee. Okay, well, if you want coffee, Toto has coffee. You can buy his coffee. That still helps his ministry, right? This other stuff don't. And if you want a coffee that is a weight loss, we have access to a weight loss coffee that has exactly the same ingredients in it that is not even half the price hardly as this stuff. Because remember, those multi-level marketing people have to have such a markup on it that they have to figure in a profit margin for the profit share so they can have stuff for people, right? So there's other products out there that does the same thing cheaper. Uh, Another thing that's going around out there right now, let's see, is travel. Okay. I have a friend of ours in Idaho. Uh, he's he said, yeah, I said, I think I'm going to join that travel thing, right? Well, he's getting ready to go to a convention for something else that he was involved with about 4 hours from his house. And he went in and he booked a hotel room through this site. Now, this site also tells you that you get free vacations too, if you're a member of their thing. Well, the problem with that free vacation is they give you a list of places that they will allow you to go. You don't get to go wherever you want to. When I go on vacation, I want to go where I want to go, not where somebody else is going to tell me I've got to go. So that rubbed me a little bit wrong when I heard about it. So I just turned away from it. But anyway, I'll tell you the guy's first name, and it's not the Gary that I see on here, but his name was Gary. And he went in and booked the room. And I made myself notes. He booked the room for $281. But he happened to think, let me go look at my 7K Advantage. And he went and looked at his 7K Advantage. Same room, exactly the same night, $130. Right? So just be careful. That's what I'm trying to tell everybody. Just be careful. All right. Another thing that's going around is we'll build you a website. We can give you QR codes. We'll do all this stuff. It costs you X amount of dollars a year. Okay. So I don't guess there's any polite way to put this. It's just going to be hardcore truth, right? Just cut to the bone. Okay. Everything they build for you is going to bring you back to one place. I'm going to do a screen share. Just a moment here to get this up. All right, Ray, if you'll give me a thumbs up when you're able to see my Zoom page. Got it? All right. So I'm going to go to my email. No, I want to go to 7K first. I'm sorry. Right here. You see that? www.fractionalgold.com/Wiley. Everybody in 7K's got one of those. No matter what they build, is going to bring you right there. So what's the hard part about hitting this button, copying? See, I copied to my clipboard, opening up an email, and pasting it right there and send it to somebody. That was difficult, wasn't it? That's exactly what their system does. 7K already has it. They're trying to reinvent the wheel and charge you for it. Okay. Another thing that they're doing is they say, well, you get this dynamic QR code with us. Would any of y'all like to just take your phone and just click on that QR code and see where it brings you? When one of y'all get it, let me know. You got it, Ray? Yep. You can go unmute yourself, Ray. Tell me where you're at. You're not unmuted.
Yeah, it brought me to a purely natural website.
Yeah, that's my wife's Epicary. That's her natural products. Now,
Uh,
do you know how long and how hard it was to get that QR code?
I can make one in about 5 minutes.
Yep, it took her under 2 minutes to do it with Chat GTP.
Or you can download an app on your phone, either an Android or an
Yeah,
iPhone, and just do it right in the app. You type the information that you want on there, the website address,
right.
and it's done and ready to go. And all you got to do is just email it to somebody or let them scan it off your phone.
And if you want business cards, you can just have them printed onto your business card.
Sure.
A lot cheaper. So what I'm saying is just be aware of the punches out there, folks. Uh, my job is to keep as much money in your pocket as you can so that you can secure yourself with gold and silver. Okay. All right. So any questions that anybody has now? We're going to open up for some questions. I think, let me look at my notes real quick. I think, yeah, that's my bullet points that I had for tonight. I've covered all of them. Oh, come on. Don't tell me I did that good. Surely I missed something. Some of y'all had some questions.
So with the new program, apprentice, if someone signs up for Sound Money and they don't have the link in 7K, is there somewhere that they will have a similar link that they can share with a potential somebody who wants to join uh, without having a 7K access?
No, they need to refer them back to you.
Okay.
Now, is it coming? Yes. There's going to be some more announcements. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're working on that. There's a lot of stuff going behind the scene. I understand this coming Monday night, there's supposed to be some more announcements made. Uh, but this is a work in process, this transition. And I don't know if any of y'all have worked in the corporate world like I have for as many years as I did, but I look, I stayed with one company about 18 and a half years, and I changed names on that shirt, I think 3 times in that 18 years, but it was still the same company, right? So I've been through transitions and moves and stuff like that before. Uh, it's uncomfortable, uh, but I could go into all the the spills on change and and growth and all the stuff that we know and I've known for years and have worked with. Uh, I used to actually do training seminars and speeches and motivation talks and stuff of that nature uh, for companies and as a trainer and in my industry. And one of my favorite things was this little game right here. I'll show you all a little game. I used to get up there on that stage, and that was back in the day that everybody wore one of these things, right? And I get on that stage and I'd introduce myself and tell them that we're here to talk about the growth and changes coming up with the company. But before we get started, I want everybody to hold up both hands. And they would hold up both hands like this. I say, now, everybody that's got a watch on their left wrist, I want them to take it off and I want them to put it on their right wrist. And everybody that's got one on your right wrist, I want you to take it off and put it on your left wrist. That lets me know whether you're right or left-handed. Okay, and I would leave it there for a moment at that, right? And I would begin to talk about some of the changes that's come. And a few moments in, after I'd watched that crowd, and probably about 80 to 90% of those people had reached over and adjusted that watch that was on the wrong wrist, I would pause. And I'd let them know that I've watched at least probably 80% or more of y'all reach and adjust that watch on your wrist. Because it was uncomfortable. It was change. Right? But that's where growth starts, is when you get uncomfortable and there's change. And nothing's different about this. This is just change, right? And it's going to be a growth process. And the other side of it is just going to be great. I mean, 5 people, $500. That sounds a lot easier than 50 people and a lot of turndowns because all that's multi-level marketing or all that's pyramid, right? So it's going to be a lot better. And I truly believe that it'll come. Yeah, I got one of these coming from 7K now. As you notice, I've got this one. That was from my retirement, my other company. That's a Seiko. I don't even wear it. Nobody wears watches anymore. What time is it? Yeah, but look at our cell phone, right? All right. So any more questions?
I got a question, Prentice. So you're saying that people can get in for the $199 with Sound Money.
Right.
What does that do for the people that's already paid the legacy fee and are paying the monthly subscription fee?
Well, okay, so you are locked in with a legacy and you have stuff that they don't have and never can have.
Right.
Uh,
Right. But we also still pay for the subscription fee every month.
no, don't have to anymore. You can drop them if you want to. That's no longer required.
Well, see, that's kind of what I was understanding on some of the message I had seen, like there was something to do with this monthly subscriptions.
Yeah. That if you no longer want to do that, it's not required. Now, is there benefits to having that? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Where you see the benefit, the education part of it, all of that will still stay there about sound money and collectibles and wealth strategy. All of that stuff is good, solid education in the world of gold and silver. Curtis, even if you're going to drop it, I recommend that you take some time and watch them, listen to them, put as much of that under your belt as you can to remember. Of course, I'm always here, and you know how to get me. You know, you have Kim's phone number, right?
Right.
You know,
Well, I got both.
not
I got
Hedges.
both. I got both your phone numbers,
There you go. So
and I know where you live.
there you go.
And
But yeah, all of that
we'll
stuff
be
is still
seeing you not
there.
before too long. But
Yeah. Another thing that you have too that they won't have. Now, they will have a place for beneficiary and sound money.
right.
And the people that put a person as a beneficiary in sound money will inherit the gold and silver that's in sound money. They will
But
not inherit the
but
7K. That'll depend.
but does that still stay there because I'm already a legacy member, or
Yes,
do I
it
still
does.
continue to pay the subscription for that?
Yes, yes, it does. And that's what I was getting ready to explain to you. As a legacy member, not only will that person inherit the gold and silver that's there, they'll inherit that 7K account too.
Right. But that isn't part of maintaining the subscription though, right?
No, no,
Right.
no,
That's kind of what I was trying to get at, because I
yep,
can, if I wanted to stop the subscription, because
yeah,
there's other ways I can sign people up, you know,
yeah.
now with just
That's the
sound
only
money.
way that you can sign people up now.
Right. Right. Okay. That's kind of where I was getting at with that. And I'm gonna study a little more about what you was just talking about, you
Yeah.
know. So
And one of the things too,
the affiliate part of it.
right. And remember, this is a change process. There may be some more tweaks to it that makes it even better. They may be enhanced it more,
Right.
but it's an affiliate program, and the people that are doing this and sharing with people are called ambassadors.
So I don't need to mean to go off topic here with anything, but
No,
I
no, that's
mean,
fine. That's what,
when you start paying attention to the point of where we're at in the world and what everything that's going on, things are changing rapidly,
tell me about it.
faster than what people really can see. And
Right,
there's a whole lot of stuff being thrown out there. You know, I heard somebody had something going on in the background about the crypto thing and all that stuff. So
right,
there's a lot of things changing, and a lot of people are seeing things that some of these big corporations are doing out there. And
right.
if people listen to it, they're putting out. You got to just pick through what sounds stupid and what
Yeah,
seems legit, because there is a lot of things going on with people that are in certain places in our government that are influencing things a certain way.
yeah. Well,
So,
and here's something, you're right. You've got to filter through the noise, Curtis, for sure. But here's something that being almost 75 has taught me. Uh, Pay more attention to what they actually do than what they're saying.
well, that's
If they're telling you to invest in crypto or invest in this, but they're stacking gold and silver, what should you be doing?
right, right. That's what I say. And I mean, there's two sides of that, uh, that I pay attention to. But
Right.
yeah, the gold and silver is one thing, but there's a whole lot of digital currency things that are taking place too.
Oh yeah, a
So,
lot of them. But
you
here's
know,
my overview on this, Curtis. You've known me how many years now?
I've known you a pretty good while.
Yeah, for a while. And where was my career? What did I do for a living?
Oh, you was cable guy. You
Yeah, I was a cable guy. I
cable
was
guy.
a broadband engineer. I designed most of that
Hmm.
stuff that they're using, right?
Right.
Well, see,
Absolutely.
I know what crypto is. Crypto is binary code in cyberspace. There's nothing tangible. You can't touch a Bitcoin. It
No,
don't
you
exist.
can't
It's
touch
not
none of that.
physical.
It's
There's
yeah,
nothing to touch.
yeah. It's not
So,
physical. There's nothing physical about it.
and
So
it's based on this. That's where its value is.
oh yeah. Yep.
Okay. So what happens if this goes to zero value? Then what is that crypto or Bitcoin worth?
Yeah. I mean, that's why all of it's kind of crashed, but
But
they're they're
if
doing the
that
same thing.
crashes,
They're doing the same thing with that. They're just manipulating the market to do what they want to do.
but if that crashes, what is this worth?
Oh, it's not worth hardly anything now.
No, this is a 1 ounce Liberty coin,
Oh, I
silver.
couldn't see. I couldn't see.
Yeah,
I still got your
like
QR code stuff up on the screen, so I
oh,
can't.
that's right. I'm not sharing. Okay, let
Yeah,
me quit sharing this thing. We'll go back. I'll show you. I apologize.
yeah, I'm on my phone, so you're like
Real small.
you're mini already, but you're really mini now.
All right, let's see here.
I don't know. Is anybody still on the call?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
we lose everybody? Because
No,
nobody's really speaking.
they're still here.
Curtis, we're just on mute.
I got you. We just carrying on the conversation.
That's good. That's what this call is for, is to,
You know, I mean, I mean, I've always paid attention to things, but I pay attention to a lot more now than and some people label me as a conspiracy theorist, but when you got to open your eyes and realize the reality of the world and what's going on in it.
right. Come on, machine. I hit it. There it is. Okay. Now, this is what I was showing earlier. The dollar bill. When that dollar
Yeah.
bill goes to nothing, crypto
Oh,
and bit
yeah,
is worth nothing.
yeah, that's what I was talking about because I saw the
if-
dollar bill. I didn't see you hold up the silver.
With this right here,
Yep.
that light's bad. Let me get the lighting where it's better on it.
Yeah, the lighting makes it hard to see what you're sharing.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Yeah, that is a Liberty. That's a 1 ounce Liberty coin. But that's
Okay.
still worth an ounce of silver. You
Right,
can order and trade
right.
with it and buy with it. It'll buy just what it did before that dollar collapsed.
Yeah.
It'll never
And I
change.
think what they're doing with the change that they're trying to do with 7K, I mean, I think it could help a lot of people progress better with it because a lot of that was the fear of people saying, "Oh, it's 700, it's $600," and then it was like, "Oh,
Right.
So
Well, I've actually, Curtis, had people say, well, you say it's free storage, but yet I've got to pay $150 a month for a coin. See, they related it that way. There
Right.
were so many problems with that system. So that's why they decided to just look, we're losing too many people that we could reach out to and get gold and silver in their hand.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, that was the hardest part I had of convincing people because everybody that listens to it, that's the first thing they say is, "Oh, this sounds like a, pyramid Ponzi scheme."
Right.
I mean, I said the same thing to you when you talked to me about it because,
Right.
that's kind of what it sounds like. But now that they can do it, and it's like, no, it's not that way anymore.
Hey, worst case scenario, get a free account, put $500 worth in there and see if it
Right.
works. And when
Yeah,
you see
see
that $500 grow to 550 or $600 or $700, say,
Yeah.
this may be working after all, right? Put you a
Yeah.
couple $100 in there.
I mean, my honest opinion right now, they're manipulating the price of gold and silver to buy up everything they can buy up. That's
Yeah.
what I think they're doing. That's what I think they're doing.
That's exactly what it is. You're
I mean, and
doing
then
that.
as soon as that's why they manipulate when silver hit as high as it was. They was like, "Oh no, we got to stop this
Right.
because we need to crash this and need to purchase all we can get
Right.
and get your hands on it." So,
Well, let me bring this up to you, Curtis. Well, some of these people, I'm sure Ray's probably heard me say this or share this on the call before. Have y'all ever watched Trading Places? It usually comes out around Christmas time there with Eddie Murphy and Dan Aykroyd. They have that show to where they swap places. Everybody's watched that.
Yeah.
And there's this one scene to where these old men are meeting in this lounge. It's like a gentleman's room, banker's room, and stuff like that at night after the market closed during the day. And they make this bet, and the bet's for $1.
$1. Yep.
Yeah, $1. Well, believe it or not, that stuff's for real. They weren't just a figment of their imagination. They manipulate the market that night. So here's the way it is. So remember these terms: gold and silver futures. Notice I use the word futures. That's what's traded on the stock market. It's
Right.
not physical gold and silver. That doesn't happen in the United States. China and Europe is the only two places in the world that the stock market price is physical gold and silver. And you compare their market price to our market price, and it's just ungodly different, right?
Well, the last time I looked at it, yeah, I mean, it was, $50 or $60 difference.
Right. Now, here's why, Curtis. There's a limited number of futures. The Fed sets that number.
Right. Right.
So we're going to say just for just general math so that we can understand the principle of how it works. Say the Fed says you're allowed to have 1,000 gold futures. And you're selling those gold futures, and the price of those futures uh, keep going up and up and up. And people say, well, it's climbing, I'm buying, but while it's climbing, I'm getting it while it's cheap, and I'm going to make some money off of it. And all of a sudden they get to the point there's only 100 futures left.
Right.
Now they can't get more without permission of the Fed, and he's not going to give it. So they can't just quit selling futures because that's where they're making their money. How
Right.
to generate more futures? So here's where the Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy comes in. That night, when they're sitting around their club, smoking their cigars and having their drinks, they say, okay, we need some more futures. How are we going to do that? Now, who sets the spot price for gold and silver? It's not the Fed. It's not the market. Believe it or not, it's the brokers. So say it was selling at $100 an ounce when the market closed today. How do I generate more for tomorrow? Well, tomorrow morning, when I open up, my ask price, remember this is an ask price, it's not the actual physical price. It's a manipulated price that came out of my imagination because I'm a broker. The ask price is going to be $90 an ounce. And what does that appear to the person that doesn't understand what's going on? That the price of gold dropped by $10 an ounce.
Yeah.
People will start selling off a little bit.
Yeah, to put
Well,
more
by
futures back.
noon, they're going to
Put
have
more
it
futures.
down to about $82 or $83 an ounce, and a panic's going to take place, and they're going to sell off like crazy.
Yeah, to put more back in the market.
That puts more back into the market. And
Yeah.
guess what? When they meet at that club again tonight, tomorrow morning, we're going to open up our bid price at $102 an ounce. Now,
Well, isn't that what just happened with J.P. Morgan Chase and all them when they
right,
dumped the silver?
exactly.
And that's what they did.
That's what they did. Now, is that illegal? Yes. Can they get
Well, yeah.
fined? Yes. But does it bother them? No. Here's why. They were fined $20 million for doing it. It's called the short sale.
And they
Okay.
made that back in 2 days.
In 2 days, by the end of that first day, after paying their $20 million fine, they made $380 million.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So they just
Ten-
thumped their nose at the federal government and says, here's your 20 million, go shut up and sit in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a game,
Yep.
and you're
That's all
perfectly
it is.
correct. It's manipulated. But the
Yeah.
place they can't manipulate it is on the street. Now, if you don't believe me, let me look right now. I'm going to reduce this a little bit, and I'm going to check something that will probably blow your mind. I know here a couple of weeks ago, I looked at it. I remembered what it was then. Ray, I don't know if you were on that call or not to remember, but I had people go look at the U.S. Mint, the U.S. federal mint, and see what a silver eagle was selling for that day. And do you remember what it was?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Are you pulling it up?
See what it is.
I think it was $186 a
Yeah.
coin.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
So you're telling me a U.S. Silver Eagle was selling for $186
Directly from the mint.
directly from the mint.
Or 2026, yes, from the government mint. Ray's looking it up now for us.
See, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I mean, I look at the price of silver. I don't know why I do it, but I told Kim that the other day. I'm like, I just look at it every day. I mean, I
Yeah.
got the
Oh, we do
APMX,
too.
that APMEX app on my
Yeah,
phone,
AppMex.
yeah. and whatever it is, I mean, I just click on it and refresh it on my phone and pop. I mean, I don't have the app. I didn't download the app. I just got it in my Google on my search.
Price right now for a Silver Eagle for 2024 Eagle is $173.
Wow,
Now,
wow.
if you don't think you're getting a deal with 7K metals, oh, it won't let me do it while I'm.
So
Do you
that
have
that
yourself?
just tells you how much they manipulate the market.
Right.
If you can't buy one for what the ask price is right now, then that just tells you how much it's being manipulated.
Absolute, absolute. Ray, it won't let me while I have the Zoom in process to minimize, but go to your dashboard.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And on your dashboard, I want you to hit uh
Buy a Silver Eagle,
yeah, buy Silver Eagles and see what they're selling for an ounce.
10702.
There you go.
Yeah.
$107 at 7K metals, but if you buy it directly from the mint, it's over $170.
Right.
Now that's a
Right.
deal. All day long, every day.
And see, that's information that people that's I've tried to approach people with this process, and like I said, they kind of interested, but when you have data like that, that we so somewhere we should have access to that through 7K where we can see what the mint price is.
Right.
To where, or we can, because I mean, it took Ray what, a few seconds right there, but I mean, that's something that for a selling point for 7K, that's another good selling point to say, hey,
Well,
if you try to buy this from the US Mint, this is what it's going to cost you,
right.
you
Right.
know. But through 7K or Sound Money, this is what you can buy it for right now.
Now, here's the backside of the
I mean,
story.
that's a pretty substantial. That's almost $70 an ounce.
Right.
$67, 170, yeah,
Yeah. So
$63.
yeah, it's a little over $60, that's for sure. Now,
Yeah.
here's why 7K can do that. They're not foolish enough to sell something for less than what they pay for it. Right? You can't do that.
Right.
So here's how I figured out what was going on. 7K metals. I was talking to Josh one time. I'm trying to remember where it was. Might have been in Vegas or Salt Lake City. It was one of the conventions I was at, and I was quizzing him about several things because I'm a detail person. And I asked him, one of the things I asked him is, I said, you know what I did for a living for all my life, Josh. What happens if China brings down our grid and our internet goes down and all of this stuff that we have in that wallet and that vault is in cyberspace? How do you know how much each person had? He says, that's easy. He said, we keep daily paper audits on it. We keep ledgers 100% backed up by paper. So we have a whole vault room full of papers and ledgers. Okay, so it's done daily at the end of the day. It's updated. Now,
Right.
so that covered that. The other thing I asked him, I said, we're growing. At that time, was in about 32 or 33 countries, but we're like in 76, I think, countries. And I said, with the growth we got, how do you know you're not going to run out? He said, here's what we do. We run 3 algorithms at a time. The first algorithm is the rate at which we are growing in customers annually. So they keep that annual tally. This year, this is how many were growed, and that lets them project how many they're going to grow the next year and the next year and the next year and the next year. So they have an algorithm for that. The second one is how much gold and silver they're having to purchase to supply those people with their current purchase rate. Say they know what everybody's purchase rate is. Okay. And then the last algorithm is a summation of those two. So they take those two and they come up with what it would take if they didn't buy another coin for the next 5 years to be able to sustain themselves. So that vault literally has a 5-year supply sitting in there. Now, with that said, some of the coins that you're buying today were purchased 5 years ago, right? So what was the price of silver 5 years ago?
$36.
That's why they can sell it for $100. They didn't pay $176 for or $173 for it. See, they're catching up to they run about a 5% markup, between 3 and 5%. So that coin that you're buying for a little over $100 has about a 3 to 5% markup on it, above what they paid for it. So that's
And
why we're
by the
getting
way, the Silver Eagles at the Mint they may be selling for $173, but they don't have anything available to sell.
right.
Nope. I
Yep.
was gonna bring that up. I don't know who said that, but I just read an article on that
Yep.
like 2 weeks ago. Like they're not even selling. You can try to buy them, but they won't sell them to you.
No, you put you ask to be reminded when they're back in stock.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
remember when
that goes back to another point of they don't want you to physically have this anymore.
Right.
That's basically what they're saying is
Yeah.
no, we're not going to sell this to you.
right. You remember in 2023 when the top 3 banks in the United States crashed? You remember that? The first one went down in California, and the second one in New York, and I think the third one was in New York also. There was a big rush on silver at that time. Well, 2023 was the first year in recorded history of the United States that any company bought more than 50% of the silver eagles from the mint. One single company bought over 50% of them. Guess who that company was?
Oh, okay.
7K Metals. We bought 51% of them. Gold Coal, Beverly Hills Gold, uh, JM Bullion were trying to buy from us on the secondary market so they could fill their orders, and 7K refused. That's the buying power of 7K Metals.
Oh, by the way, a 1 ounce American Buffalo Gold is $6,000.
I've got some of those.
That one is there to purchase.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
I've got some of those.
I'm sure it is. Yeah.
They're a beautiful coin.
Yeah.
But on you know, I mean, like this goes back to everything you hear and everything. You got to look into it. But I just had a deal come through on a bank that I thought wouldn't go out of whatever. But there's a bank out of Ohio that's buying them, and it's called Huntington Bank or something like
I've
that.
heard of Huntington. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I've never heard of them, but they've bought out Cadence Bank, and I get kind of skeptical of all that stuff when I start seeing banks selling out and this and that because you don't know the direction. So
Curtis, do you know who
I had this conversation with Kim the other night about like I got too much money sitting in a bank and I don't like it and I
Yeah.
worry about it and I'm like I want to dump it somewhere and I'm not sure what to do with it.
I don't know where you want to keep it, but I gold and silver.
Well, a bank is not where I want to keep it.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
I had a young man that I talked to about probably about 3 years ago. And I was actually sitting in the bank lobby doing some banking, waiting to talk to my banker. And he and I got to talking, and he had just came into an inheritance. And his grandfather passed away and left him some gold and silver. And I asked him, what's he going to do with his gold and silver? Because I was curious in case he wanted to sell it, right? I always keep an ear out for a good deal. He says, well, I'm getting a safety deposit box. I'm going to put a safety deposit box here in the bank so to be safe. And I cringed. And I said, you think it's going to be safe here? And he said, oh yeah, I said, it'll be safe. It'll be safer here than it is in my house. I said, well, that may be true. I don't know what your house is like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
let me tell you something that you may not have considered. If this bank folds or goes out of business, all the assets in this bank will be seized by the FDIC. That includes your safety deposit box and everything in it.
Exactly.
And do you know how long, even though it's insured up to $250,000, do you know how long they've got to pay you out?
Isn't it something crazy like 10 years or something like that?
No,
Like
99 years.
Yeah,
How many?
99.
99.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. Yeah.
So I
I
looked
don't
at
know
it.
you crap.
So I looked at him and
Yeah.
said, how long do you plan on living?
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, I
That's
have a friend of mine, Mark Hood. Mark and I've been friends for over 30 years. And his wife was a loan officer at a bank, and she didn't even know that, and she doubted me. And the next day she called me from work and said, Prince, I apologize. She says, I feel guilty now getting people to sign these papers.
yeah.
It's hidden in there, it's in the
Yeah.
paperwork.
Yeah.
They'll say, this is
Well,
your insurance. You need to initial here, initial here, sign here. And people just do it, you know?
You should come and listen to this.
well, there's also a thing, there's also a deal. I don't know if, and this goes back to what I was talking about with the whole crypto thing and all this other stuff. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's what they call the Genius Act that's been done.
I haven't heard of it.
If you haven't, look it up. It's all got to do with crypto. It's all got to do with this.
Okay.
Trump put out some Truth Social the other day that had something to deal with the banks and said that they needed to get on board with this when it goes into this whole digital currency thing. So
Right.
that's why I say there's a whole lot of stuff out there, but Trump's putting this out there. So there's
Yeah.
two of them, but one of them was called the Genius Act.
Okay.
And if you don't, when I say this about crypto, a lot of people, and I was one of them, and I'm still am, but I pay attention to some things
It's
and I look them up.
interesting info.
Well, you look this up and you start seeing. So Trump and the sons have created their own what they're calling stable coins, and a whole lot of these people are buying into this stable coin stuff. Well, Trump already had a Trump coin that like a bunch of people bought into, and they basically became millionaires in a short period of time because he created this coin. Well, now the sons have brought it. Trump left office in 2020 all against didn't want to talk about crypto, it was a scam, it was a fraud, all this other stuff. Well, why now all of a sudden has he come back now and is becoming this crypto deal? They've created their own coin, which is their own coin. They got another one, it's called WILF or WLFI, and it's World Financial something deals and all kinds of stuff. If you start listening to what they're trying to do, they're trying to do away with the dollar, and they're trying to make a one world currency, and it's going to be crypto. People are talking about XRP, people are talking about Bitcoin, but there's a lot of these big banks that have, if you follow the information, they're buying a lot of the stuff that's out there and the market caps that come with this digital currency, the cryptocurrency. It is out there. And I know it sounds weird, but I mean, it's like, okay, there's too many people involved in this. And like I said, people call me conspiracy theorist because I listen to a lot of information, but I do a whole lot of research.
Yeah.
And this
If you
whole
listen to,
Folks, I'm
I
going
was
to
gonna say,
stop
if
the
you listen
recording.
to his son Eric, one of the reasons that there's
Okay.
Yeah, let me stop the recording, folks, and it's just due to time constraints because I'm running up on to a time limit here that I'm going to have to just stop the recording. We're going to keep meeting, but I'm just going to stop the recording because the file will be too big for me to upload on Telegram. So I'm just going to stop that and we'll continue. So give me just a moment.